Welcome to Confessions of an SEO. This is Carolyn Holzman. What you're going to hear are my experiences in SEO as an SEO spanning the last 13 years and counting. I will share some of the new things I'm testing, some of the research data, and quite frankly, the things that drive me crazy. Stay tuned. Oh, by the way, very little about what you're going to hear is going to be validated by Google proper. You see, I don't think they're driven to have yours or my business's best interest at heart. And last year, you can look it up and see how much they made in revenue. So if you're an SEO, I get you. And if you're a business owner, guess what? Before I was magically turned into an SEO, I was a local business owner for decades. And there are days where I still feel the strain. So let's get started. This is week 3 of the summer editions of Confessions of an SEO. So I'm still in the woods, and frankly, I might not come out again. I had an interesting SEO week, the kind of week that reminds me, if you haven't listened, last season's episode 2, Why I Hate Client SEO, and at the same time, episode 1, Why I Love SEO. So before I start to confess my SEO angst, news from the indexation research. First off, why the hell should you care? Well, if you have a client and you've been pushing them to publish new content, and if they knew what they were doing, then you might get confronted with some questions. Things like, why am I not getting visitors to these articles? I see in Search Console that these are indexed. Why can't I find them when I search for my brand or this keyword? Rule of engagement number 1. When it comes to any client or another SEO for that matter, never argue with someone who has made up their mind to stay ignorant. Now, once you confirm the coast is clear and you know they're open to information that they wouldn't know intuitively, wouldn't you be the clever one to be able to say, well, last week Google wasn't indexing new content, but they always turn it back on. And so when they do, I'll be able to let you know so you're not wasting your time on that so you can focus on your business. Now, it's entirely possible that you can take that kind of information to a stakeholder and they will actually refute your assessment and respond like, well, why would Google do that? That's just not fair. They wouldn't do that to a small business. I refer you to rule of engagement number 1. So the beauty of this information is it's right under people's noses. It is right there. It's reachable. It's not insurmountable. We can find out whether or not Google is taking in new content. Now, there are SEOs, much less those that hire them, but there are SEOs who don't really know how to confirm if their content pages are indeed indexed or not. Until a few years ago, I would have been equally stumped to know how to precisely confirm unless I was relying on Search Console. Now, here's the part. Would you believe that in our industry, there is no one accepted operational definition for what it means for a page to be indexed? And what I mean by that is a simple way to know. That's it. Something that we could do that would confirm so we could verify with our own eyes. Now, I know all of you technicians out there are thinking, oh, I bet she's going to say what it is. Actually, what I want to say is why? Why would this be so? Who benefits from ignorance within our industry for not having an accepted operational definition to be able to confirm if a page is indexed? Now, everyone and their brother seems to be able to quote the Google developer docs. Okay, do this, do that. And if the Google gods deem your content worthy, you'll indeed be indexed. And if not, then you suck. Follow me for further SEO help. I don't think we, the SEOs or the stakeholders, are the ones that benefit by describing SEO like mythology of ancient Greece. But let's put on our thinking caps for a minute. Who else on the scene could be benefiting from not being precise? So let me think. Oh, I know. Could it be the international company that last year generated $257 billion in revenue, and half of that from the paid search division? Just so we're clear, I'm not ragging on Google. They are a business, but they are in business because you are in business. So they dance along this fine line of appearing to have everything. They need to invest in making sure the results people get are useful, and that is what keeps people coming back. But that doesn't mean that they always show the same results, does it? That way, if they keep changing the SERPs and people who are maybe not as fully optimized, perhaps, but if they, being Google, can sort out the results so that in some ways they can satisfy the searcher, but that doesn't mean that they're going to give the same business the same business, right? So that way they keep the traffic coming and then they spread the available business through volatility. And that way they can keep you so frustrated with the on and the off that you finally tire of the game and just go to paid search. Okay, so all that to say, knowing how Google works, knowing that within that description, they really do not need to care about your specific business. They just need to care about theirs. So if we view Google as their own business, why is it so incredulous that Google would turn off the flow of new content into their index? They are the show. We are the talent, and as they see it, talent is easy to acquire. Get over it. So, getting back to the data from the research project, since June 28th, rendered indexing for new content is testing off. What this means is if you're publishing new content and your site is mostly configured and coded, in other words, where your SEO content is contained within scripts, we call it JavaScript, but that also includes schema, then that portion of your page where you have that content is technically blank. So when Google goes to score it and figure out where to sort that page, they only see what they can see. They cannot see the stuff that's behind the scripts. That's what it means when rendered indexing is off. Now, I did launch several tests on, because, all right, I knew it was off for new content. How do I know it's on or off for existing content? Is it findable by its keywords? So to see if JavaScript was turned off on existing content or if it was fine. So I did that. Now it turns out JavaScript is recently turned on for existing content. It wasn't immediate. It took it about 5 days for that signal to come in clear. Now I decided it's time. I'll just do a short training on this. And if you're not already on the list for the forensic training notices, get on there. Because I feel like I need to do something. We need to have something in our industry that we know we can count on and be able to tell. So go to forensictraining.com, and it's a page there. It's a page about the forensic training that I did, but there's a form in there. You can just add your name and email. Now, I do think I'm going to charge a very nominal fee, $14, right? Since it's training, if you're an SEO, if you want to talk with your accountant, we'll call it online training event, because who amongst us doesn't need tax deductions? So I'm going to look at after the holiday and before July 22nd. So get on the list now. I'll shoot out an email. If you want to sign up for training and come with questions, I will answer those at the end. So if you're on vacation and you need a little alone time away from the family, this will be perfect. So it would appear, I think, as I think about it, that I sort of confess the not so great part of my week. when facts and data are disputed. Now, here's the cool part. I love SEO as a sport. I love SEO to build revenue. Sometimes they work together, sometimes they don't. Now, this will probably work together in the near future, but in this case, This was part of Lee Wichard's SEO training course, which I do not want you to sign up for. No, go away, nothing here to see. Now, as part of this latest training, we all picked our targets. I went with a mesothelioma term. No dog training terms here. And I do apologize in advance if I get excited talking about this. I'm not promoting mesothelioma. I'm simply saying I picked a hard keyword that you don't ever see in SEO trainings until now. So I'm going to write it up. But I wanted to let you know that I launched the site on Monday afternoon. By Thursday, it was testing 100% in every search for that particular mesothelioma term. And in the top 50. Actually, it's actually at the 50 spot, and it's testing upwards. So I know this will get higher. The game is on. Believe it or not, the things that the data is saying, it's just a little bit of meta, a little bit of schema. And I know right now that schema, because my page is indexed, I can add schema and it's going to get rendered. See how that works? Confidence comes when you know what's going on. Google is a machine. Google is not a business incubator with your business's best interest at heart. And I don't want to say that sarcastically. I want to say that because I want you to hear it. I want you to really think about this. So act accordingly. If you're not in SEO, get the best SEO presence you can afford. Now, please note, I'm not advocating that you do your own SEO. If you're a plumber, how many times have you gone out and seen what results when people try to do their own plumbing? So hire the best SEO you can afford. Build up your business on non-search engine streams. Use technology for sure, but don't let your business be too vulnerable or so vulnerable to Google as a search engine. Use them the way they're using you. Build your clientele. Be visible in the SERPs. Let your SEO or your SEO team work on the SEO part. You have the responsibility of making your overall business healthier. And that's going to do it for today. Next week, I have some new topics that were suggested, and it's very possible I might just sort of dig into one of those and cover them. We'll see. I feel like I'm swimming in topics, and I love it. Thank you. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you to the sponsors of Confessions. They help support this work for themselves and others. If you would like to support this podcast and SEO research, you can go to, it's one of those short links. It's bit.ly, bit.ly /confessions sponsor. Again, that's bit.ly /confessions sponsor. All one word with 2 S's in the middle. Please subscribe to Confessions wherever you're listening. It's on Audible, Spotify, Amazon Alexa, and anywhere that you can get a podcast, you can find this. And if you haven't settled on one source, just Google Confessions of an SEO. You can't miss it. Let's make more business and success together. And let's make efforts as SEO and SEO clients to understand each other better and Google better. We're all after the same thing. It's been my pleasure to be your host. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the service.